And hello, welcome back to another installment of the Iron Will Collective podcast. This is episode 25.
This will be known as a bonus episode because we absolutely busted our cashew on the last one because it was so long. And we, being the low budget podcast at the moment that we are, we only have so much room to grace all channels. So this, you're probably listening to this on YouTube.
Yeah, what's up, YouTubers?
Hey, go ahead and smash that like button, comment and like and subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell icon to get notifications.
Dude, you just checked everything off the list. I think we're good now. Like, we can just call it.
Honestly, yeah. So we were going to talk about flatulence in today's episode, but I guess we don't need to now.
The prison system. Yeah, really in deep today.
Yeah, exactly. For anyone who has not watched the show Dave on Hulu about Little Dicky, you got to check it out for an in-depth experience on the prison system.
Yeah, you're going to learn so much. Just like this podcast.
Exactly. Today, we're going to bring you knowledge straight from the Bible. Okay? Adam and Eve, Moses, Cain and Abel.
Jeff
Cavalier. He's from the lifting Bible. But again, we'll take this moment to tell you that there is no fitness messiah except for Jonathan Soto.
And, even then, I'd prefer if there are no images of me to discourage idol worship.
Exactly. So he's going with the whole Muhammad type thing over here. I got to say, though, that John taught me a new exercise. Well, I mean, we kind of learned together today. Work on that Jefferson deadlift.
So, is it a squat? Is it a deadlift? What is it?
It is. Is it a lunge? Is it a squat? Is it a deadlift? It's like all of them. If they all were put into a laboratory and fused together at a nuclear level, this is the exercise that it would produce.
It was pretty strange, but kind of intuitive. Setup took a little bit of tweaking, but for those of you who have never heard of a Jefferson deadlift, a Jefferson squat, or whatever other name you want to call it, it's
Jefferson Cavalier.
Yeah, Jefferson Cavalier. It's highly recommended that you look it up, give it a shot if you have the means to do so, because it's a cool alternative on both the deadlift and I guess to an extent the squat. I'd probably put it closer to a deadlift, just considering the fact that you're lifting something off the floor.
It's definitely a weird one because you are still, at least in that video that we watched to help us with learning, you start by squatting down to it, and then you kind of turn and angle yourself back toward the front of the room. It's very interesting. So I mean, you're obviously not going to get to it's not getting justice here in audio. You're going to need to check this out on a video form. Maybe we'll make one once we increase our competence in the lift, because we're not about to recommend anything that we can't really teach properly.
No, this is the first time that I've ever really given it a true shot. But essentially so think deadlift. You've got your barbell on the ground. You take a step over the bar, so now it's in between your legs. You angle your feet to the bar, and there's no real one way to do this. And that's what most of the sources will say, that it's really dependent on your unique physical structure. So you have to figure out what works for you so you can get the best leverage out of it and pull the most amount of weight.
That's actually fantastic advice.
Yeah, I think so. It gives you the opportunity to learn some awareness with your body. But you set up, and you like you just mentioned, you squat down to the bar, rotate your body, so it's not working in the same plane of motion as a conventional deadlift, because you have that rotational element. It's going to build slightly different strength. If you think of the specific adaptation to imposed demands, so said, then you think like, okay, this has got to have a slightly different effect, if anything, just because you're rotating. So you squat down, you rotate, you take your grip on the bar and you lift it up off the floor. So you can do high rep, low rep, treat it like an endurance exercise. You can work for strength. I mean, it's got a lot of potential. So we're giving it a shot. It's in one of our new programs. If it works, you can look forward to maybe giving it a shot yourself.
Yep. John is putting together a awesome upper lower bodybuilding split program here, and we're running it. Be a little bit busy this week, but in due time we will run through everything, and then hopefully the beta test will be a success and we'll be able to release this to be available for everybody.
Yeah, it's different because it's 4 days. So we're coming off of a 5 to 6 day program, which you tend to you bump it up. You're closer to that 6 day a week range. And
then recently it's been a lot of 2 days too, so it's been a lot of working out over here, and I can definitely feel it.
Dang. So yeah, 4 days has definitely been a welcome change, at least for me personally. I took the day off yesterday and tried to maximize my recovery. It could have also been an active recovery day, so if I felt like it, I could have gone out and focused on things like cardio or just mobility, which, come to think of it, I went out for a run. So it was a little bit active. And
our original plan, though, was to hit the forgotten muscles. But again, we've both been pretty busy this week. And next week after, we'll iron it out. We'll hit that direct neck training.
Dude, I feel like I already did. My neck is killing me today.
Yeah, it's because...
What's up with that?
It's because you were doing that Krav Maga.
Man, even just thinking about it makes my neck hurt. But no, we should hit those forgotten muscles. I'm excited to put on that fancy headdress that you have.
Yep. I mean, I feel bad that it hardly gets used, but it's just direct neck training is typically not something that's going to be hugely important for people like you and me and probably most of the listeners on here. Direct neck training will be a lot more important for people who do activities such as wrestling or other combat sports. They are typically the ones that really will emphasize some direct neck training. Other than that, for aesthetic purpose, there is a very popular YouTube personality named Alpha Destiny who kind of made his mark on the community by kind of preaching the importance or the value that direct neck training can bring to a natural physique, which that's kind of why I bought the harness in the first place, was because I was like, I might as well give this a shot.
Dude, he's got a really interesting perspective because he doesn't just train for aesthetics, but it's a really important aspect of his training. He also does a lot of strength and really emphasizes the yoke, which is upper traps, neck, and is that it? Is that it for the yoke?
Yeah. Traps, neck. Also, he emphasizes like forearms as well. Like we were talking about before, how he basically emphasizes the body parts that you can see on a person with a shirt on. Things that'll make you look jacked without popping the tarp off, which is a really smart and good idea. And he's got a good following because of it. He's someone who I wouldn't mind having a conversation with because we could definitely learn a lot from his personal philosophy.
Man,
get a lot of ideas.
There you go. Gonna have to
already
reach
have.
Out.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. So right now, if you know anybody who has a gun, tell them that we want them on the podcast.
Dude, we've got guns here, left, right. Nah, I'm a dad now. I make dad jokes.
I have something that I need to say. Something's up with my shoulder. Something has been for the past couple weeks. When I try to flex like a regular bicep flex on my right arm, it hurts my shoulder, and I really like it because this is really holding me back because I like to do a lot of flexing in the mirror. And now if it hurts my shoulder when I do it, I gotta tone it down a little bit, which is unfortunate, but I'm willing to do so.
Damn. Well, have to limit that posing routine to like what, an hour a day now?
My coach is gonna be pissed.
Ay carumbo.
Ay carumbo. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, cool perspective. I also recently learned that Alpha Destiny is also vegan.
Really?
And that was through his Instagram account. So you get a little more personal shot into his life. But I remember looking back at some of his older videos, because at one point in time, he was a huge advocate of bear mode, which is just eating and eating and eating.
And growing your hair.
Yeah.
Body hair.
That's true.
That was legitimately part of it, because I remember listening on, it was the Jeff Nippard podcast, I believe, where he had him on and they were talking about bear mode. And he said that the body hair will kind of provide an illusion to make you seem less fat than you are somehow. Like, basically, like if you got the body hair all going, it hides like any unsavory body lines or anything like that, I guess. But I'm screwed because I literally have one chest hair. I do not grow body hair.
Dude, you need to try bear moding a little harder. Maybe it's like dependent on what you eat. We're gonna have to incorporate some onions. Eat Rogaine?
Yeah.
That's not. Didn't they do that in a South Park episode?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's trying to join NASCAR, but they won't let him join because, well, actually, this is all Cartman. So he's thinking, "Oh, I'm too smart for NASCAR. I need to do something stupid." So he starts eating Rogaine or something. I don't know if it's gonna work, but
it works. Multi-level marketing company, join us.
It really does work. What do they even sell?
Probably, like, if I had to guess, essential oils. That's my guess. Let me look it up.
I know there's one company, it might be It Works, not sure, but they sell these things called body wraps, which is pretty much just like, from my understanding, I don't know if it's fabric or if it's some type of rubber composite.
I Googled It Works, and the third suggestion was wraps. So
Okay.
let's see.
Sweet. So then I think it might be this one, or at least one of the things they sell. And so with this body wrap, you wrap it around your rolls, because it's marketed towards people who have an excess amount of body fat. And so it slims you, and it's supposedly supposed to help you burn more calories. You don't even have to work out. You just wear it.
All right, sign me up.
Yeah.
So
You
wait,
sold?
all right. So
all right, there we go.
So I'm clear. This article of clothing, just wearing it will make you burn calories.
It works.
I mean, I don't see any flaws in that logic. So please take my money.
Honestly, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The genius there is the company name, because I'm going to go out and say it doesn't work. But with a company name like It Works,
you can't argue with that.
It really, really can't. So they thought of everything. They were 5 steps ahead of the game here, and they put themselves in checkmate right from the start.
Well, from what I saw in there, on top of their calorie burning wraps, which, you know, a wrap, when I say calorie burning wrap, that sounds like some sort of like tortilla and like some sort of like lunch meat
made
in
of
it,
celery,
which is going to be like giving you calories. So this is a little confusing, but they've also got wonderful detox products. So
awesome.
That is something that I build my entire fitness program and nutrition program around detox products, because guess what? It works.
It totally works, you know? And some of you out there might be wondering, what kind of toxins even get removed? Like, what are the toxins we're talking about?
Arsenic.
Yeah.
Botulism.
Negativity. You know, like it's all encompassing. You don't have to know exactly what the toxins are. Just know we all have them.
Just like the toxins, we all have thetan level that these toxins are working against actively. So if you want to raise your thetan level, you're going to need to detox. Something that just popped into my mind that I remember seeing a long time ago was there's like these like adhesive pads that you put on the bottom of your foot.
Oh yeah.
And then like it like pulls like crap out of your foot or something like that.
I've heard of those. I read this book a long time ago. It was called Bad Science, and it was by this guy named Dr. Ben Goldacre. And it was such a good book because he has some major beef with what he calls charlatans, and basically just
love that word. Remember when I thought it was Charlemagne?
Oh yeah. He says that there are too many Charlemagnes, and so he's out to set them straight. He does not want that in the community. So he's talking about them, and he's giving all the scientific evidence to show that these things are highly ineffective, and he can actually explain in detail what is really happening. Like, have you heard of earwax candles?
Yeah, I was actually just talking about that the other day, but like, I don't really know that much about them, but I know they're a thing.
Dude, okay, so it's this strip of, I guess it's cloth, that gets wrapped into this like long cylinder shape, and they dip it in wax so it stays put. And so you put this thing in your ear, and you lay down sideways, you light the top on fire, and kind of like an incense, you just let it burn. So you blow the fire out and let it burn.
Like that Usher song.
Yeah. Which one?
It's like Let It Burn. Man, you don't know Usher?
Dude, I only know Usher when he's with Luda.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, I roll with that Luda.
Fair enough. Continue.
So this earwax candle is burning, and you're laying down on your side. By the time it gets to the end, you're supposed to remove about a 1-inch piece of this earwax candle, and inside you're supposed to see all this nastiness that just came out of your ear. It's supposed to be earwax, and supposedly what it's doing is it's using some kind of like vacuum or suction that's created by the shape of the funnel and, you know, the position of your ear and stuff and the smoke, and it's sucking all this stuff up out of your ear, which, saying it out loud doesn't really make sense, and actually seeing it compared to other things doesn't make sense either. There's a really cool video on YouTube that I saw. It was like 10 minutes long, so it's not really long at all, but this other doctor, and I can't remember his name, he takes an earwax candle and he puts it in a clear cup, and so he's testing it. There's a clean cup that he tries to earwax candle, and that the candle ends up filthy, like nasty, but the inside of the cup gets coated in soot, so there's just like ash all over the place, this thin layer of gray.
And that would be in your
residual
ear.
Exactly. And so then he tested it with a cup that had some dirty stuff inside, or no, not even a cup. It was a patient. It was a real patient, and they looked before the earwax candle was used and after the earwax candle was used. No difference. All the particulate matter that was inside the ear prior to the candle was still in the same exact spot. Just now had a nice cool layer of dust. So this shit does not work.
That's
Does not
garbage.
work. Yeah, it's total garbaggio, and actually kind of makes me think. So, what are your thoughts on multi-level marketing companies within fitness? There's no shortage.
I love them. I don't know how else to describe how I feel other than they are the best. Multi-level marketing in general is the best thing that you could do with your time and with your money. Yeah. Because, you know, most jobs you go and they pay you. But multi-level marketing, you know, it's smart because you pay them to work for them.
Yeah, you work for yourself and them.
You got to spend money to make money.
That's right. That's right.
You know, I always hear that. But in all reality, I would love to hear a convincing argument advocating for multi-level marketing, any multi-level marketing company, because they are predatory and often, or they're predatory in many cases, and they are often result in the employee / small business owner or whatever you get labeled as when you sign up.
Yeah,
you end up spending more money than you make, which is absolutely crazy. Like, in what job are you going to end up doing that? Like, might as well go and start your own business. Iron Will Collective, hit us up for online coaching.
There you
go. You can pay. I mean, wait, how would it work? Would we pay you to come and we pay you and we coach you, and then you sell our wraps?
So, okay, if we wanted to start our own MLM, we would we would offer other people a product to sell. So, for example, let's say... Okay,
earwax candle.
Yeah, we're going to give you these earwax candles. They totally work. Our company is earwaxcandlesworks.com. .net. Yeah, preface that. And so we give you these candles. Actually, we don't give them to you. You invest in yourself. You spend a measly $500 to get started.
That's wholesale pricing too.
Yeah, it's wholesale pricing. You're going to make your money back in the first couple of sales plus some, okay? So this is how you make your dreams come true. After you purchase from us, then you have to figure out how to sell those candles. Well, what better than to just get somebody else going on that same train, you know? Offer to sell them your wholesale deal so then they can invest in themselves. And so next thing you know, you've got everybody in the block investing in themselves. They've all put in $500 that eventually, well, it comes back to us here at the top. That's why it's called a pyramid.
That's actually the triangle plan.
It reminds me of earwax candles though, because usually the type of products that they're selling are ineffective.
Yeah, like I'm struggling to think of any like popular multi-level marketing company
Herbalife.
that actually sells something good. Like Herbalife. Okay, so as far what I know about Herbalife is that they're the ones that do shakes, right?
Yeah, mostly. I mean, they do pretty much every supplement.
Okay, so first of all, eat real food. Supplements to build an entire store about supplements, you know, GNC or whatever like that. I feel like if you are not in a GNC and selling supplements and you're doing like an Herbalife thing when you're just peddling them to your friends and family, that is going to lead you down a road of misinformation in a lot of cases.
Definitely.
Convincing people that they need something that they don't need. Just who really needs anything? We all just need a little bit of water, a little bit of real food, and a little bit of air, you know, maybe a roof over the head. But I don't think Herbalife gives you any of that stuff.
No.
I think if anything, like I would love to see the ingredients on like those shakes, because they're all powder based, right? They're all just like dry powder shakes, and they tell you like this shit is healthy. Like this stuff is going to put you on a whole nother level.
Oh yeah.
Never see a doctor again.
It must be healthy and it must work super well because it's hella expensive. So you're dishing out top dollar for this top shelf stuff.
Do you know any like ballpark range on like, I know they have stores like where you can go and you can have someone mix up a shake there for you. And,
yeah.
Do you happen to know any ballpark on a price on one of those? Like, are they like protein shakes, just meal replacement shakes, or like what? Like,
so, okay,
like with like a full spectrum of macronutrients and micronutrients, or are they just straight up protein powder, or what?
It depends. So, like any well thought out company, they're gonna offer a variety of products to suit a variety of people.
So you're saying this company is well thought out?
Oh yeah. I mean, they're definitely doing what they do at a high level, and that's why it's so prevalent. I mean, they've got so many people on the hook, man. Look at their website. It's, from my understanding, Herbalife is like this umbrella company that owns a variety of smaller companies. And so,
other MLMs?
No, they're just
products.
Products,
okay.
Yeah. And so you can think of them like product lines, and within that line, you're sure to find something that fits for you. So like if you're a lady and your hair is brittle, they're going to try and sell you collagen and biotin and all that stuff.
I mean, It Works has it too, so.
Yeah. Dude, they all have it. They all have it. It's amazing. And so if you're, I don't know, a young male, they're going to try and sell you a whey protein
penis enlargement
or something. Yeah, exactly. They've
whey
got
protein,
testosterone stuff.
Whey protein with penis enlargement.
They've got cock rings. They've
Goji berry.
Goji berry cock rings. Look, straight to the source. Stimulate. So they've got all this
antioxidants.
I think really the biggest thing is that they're just trying to get people where it's easy and sell them this fantasy that you can achieve results the easy way. You know, just buy the stuff, be consistent with it, and and let it work its magic. But most importantly, be consistent. You have to keep taking it.
And they've got half of the real formula right there. And that consistency is going to be everything when it comes to getting fit, losing weight, gaining muscle, improving in your career. Everything. Consistency is going to be the grandfather.
Yeah.
So they do have that one thing right, but consistency with their particular products, convincing people that you need to be consuming this stuff and not anything else, that is shady.
But not even emphasizing the physical side of it anyway. So there's, I mean,
the nutrition side.
See, I think the way they get around that is by targeting a lot of coaches, and it's something that I've seen, especially going through Instagram. So many fitness influencers, or if you want to call them influencers, but fitness advocates, they are linked up with these MLMs, and they're selling these supplements because, I mean, for whatever reason, either they bought into the idea itself and haven't made any connections or done any further research into the actual products and the efficacy of them, or what.
They just want to make a quick buck.
I mean, it could be that too. I mean, that's the thing. We all need to pay bills. We've all got things that we need to do, but I don't know, man. It is shady, and it does couple well with fitness, obviously, but it's never really emphasized that it should just be a supplement. Like, the food comes first, exercise comes second, and recovery, well, I don't even want to put them in an order like that, but all those things need to be talked about before you even get into what kind of protein or powder you're using or pre-workout. Like, you need to get first things first.
So that leads me to two questions. Why aren't we selling MLM products, and where do we sign up to start?
Well, okay, I think if we were going to do it, it's not like we don't have some options that really do work. That could be our company.
It really do work.
It really do work. We just did that supplements that work series, and it was so extensive.
Yeah, it was long,
3 posts long.
Oh man. But that's not to say that other supplements don't work.
Right.
It's just that the effect that they're going to yield for you is going to be fairly negligible.
Yeah.
You know, other supplements that didn't make it on that list, such as like a multivitamin or something, there's a lot of conflicting information around how well those really work. You know, you'll hear from one camp that you pee it all out. But then you could also, I'm sure there are people out there that would tell you that possibly people that suffer from a vitamin or mineral deficiency will tell you that, hey, this actually does help. So there's gray area, yeah. So I think for the series that we had was really just emphasizing like a few really popular supplements that are often talked about and often taken by people in the fitness world. These are ones that have a lot of actual evidence behind them that they will give you some sort of benefit, not just like, you know, circumstantial or transient evidence that they'll do something every now and again. So that's definitely something to consider.
It's not like it was one company who had a conflict of interest and, you know, they put out a study that said, oh man, creatine, it do work.
Well, Omar Yusuf is always talking about big creatine and how they monopolize the market. So beware out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. I didn't even consider that. But even with things like caffeine or protein, I guess you could conspiracize and wonder who's responsible for the prevalence of these supplements too. Like caffeine, it's the most widely used drug in the world, and I wouldn't doubt that there are people who would like to see the consumption of that increase. But the reality is there have been a multitude of studies that show it is effective and can help you achieve certain goals. So, hey, if you need to fill some gaps in your nutrition, so like for example, protein for me is a big one. And I think it
Herbalife's got you covered.
Yeah, Herbalife's got you covered. I mean, they've got everything you want. They even do those like veggie shakes, or it'll be a protein shake that has vegetables in it.
Like greens powder or actual
greens
vegetable?
powder. No, not actual.
Greens powder, yay.
Yeah. I want to see
face.
how effective greens powder is compared to something like a vegetable, because it supposedly still contains phytonutrients, but it's highly processed.
Okay, so that's something that we really haven't talked about is greens powder, and that's something that both you and I do have a little bit of experience taking.
Yeah.
My thought on greens powder is that it may be beneficial for you if you absolutely hate vegetables and you will not eat vegetables.
Yeah.
You will not try vegetables.
Huge variety.
Like in Dave, where you tried the tip of the carrot and then you got diarrhea. Like if that happens to you, maybe greens powder might, give you some of those micronutrients that you are certainly missing if you're not eating any actual plants or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, in my experience taking greens powder, when I was taking it, it was basically just as like an excuse to not have to eat vegetables, which is stupid because like I love vegetables. Like why even go down that road? But I was I believe it was one of the nutrition plan that you wrote for me a long time ago. And of course, like we've learned a ton since then,
dude, so much.
But you try things, you live it, and you learn, and that's one of the best ways to learn is through experience. But I went on it. I'd throw it in my protein shake after I worked out. Hitting that anabolic window, doing all these things that aren't really necessary to make gains or to properly nourish yourself. And at the end of the day, the greens powder ended up falling by the wayside. Haven't had a scoop of greens powder in years because veggies are awesome. And just eat them.
When it comes down to it, it's not like you were saving money by buying greens powder.
Absolutely not.
It's definitely more expensive. And sure, it may have some benefits for you. It made me feel good that I was getting my serving of greens every day, like first thing in the morning. It was what I would take.
But and it makes you also wonder the bioavailability of the actual nutrients in the greens powder, and how well your body is actually going to uptake them compared to if you were to just go and grab that zucchini that I showed you earlier and just chomp on it.
Well, definitely not getting any fiber from that.
Yeah, no fiber, but it does taste like, the one I liked was the orange flavor one, so it does taste like oranges.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It was actually pretty gross.
Yeah, I mean, it literally mixes up dark green, and if you throw that in with anything else, it's guaranteed to make it look nasty.
Yeah, I did mine with vanilla protein powder and orange flavored, so it was it wasn't the worst. It was definitely edible or drinkable, but
it's like a orange dreamsicle salad, which is in a drink.
All right, I'm headed over to Sprouts right now. I'm gonna go buy me a tub.
Sign up. All right, grab one for me, man.
All right, we'll do. Signing off.
We're out. But no, I stopped taking it because the cost of it versus the cost of actual vegetables. And so for me, it didn't fit the budget. If I had a higher budget, I'd probably consider taking it again. But it's not necessary. And I think it's really important to understand that most of these supplements are not necessary. It's not the end of the world if you're not going to be able to constantly be consuming a scoop of protein before and after a workout. In fact, if you could achieve that protein target of yours with real food, then you're going to be very well off. That's a nice and complete source of amino acids. It's slower digesting. It may be easier on your digestive system in general. And so ultimately guaranteeing that you're eating an adequate amount of calories. I mean, a lot of upsides versus just guzzling down the protein shake and saying, I'm good.
Yep, I'm ripped.
Yeah.
Drink that way, I'm ripped. But it can be difficult depending on your lifestyle, to take in enough protein, because a lot of people in the Western diet, they're going to be carb heavy.
Oh, yeah.
They are going to have a disproportionate amount of carbs in their diet, and likely fats as well, because guess what? Them's the tasty ones. And protein is likely to be the one that falls by the wayside, because you're filling your volume with this other stuff, which in some cases can be all right. Like if you are taking your volume with like a lot of vegetables, a lot of low calorie, nutrient dense foods like that, that's great. But I think it's still very important that you do be a little bit watchful of the amount of protein that you're taking in. That doesn't mean you have to start tracking it or anything like that, but I think it's important that you ensure with each meal you're taking in I'd say 20 to 30 grams of protein, and that's pretty easy to get in. That'd be like a pretty small chicken breast, a burger. Those are, meat examples, fish fillet or whatever, eggs. Yeah. Lots of easy ways to get it with animal products. With plant products, also very doable in combinations of certain plant-based products, such as rice and beans. Who doesn't love some rice and beans?
Dude, give you that lentils.
Yeah, the lentils, man. The chickpeas, man. Chickpeas. Oh, yeah. I mean, they're technically beans, but god dang, man, they got that protein. So like, great tip I've got for everybody listening: swap out your regular enriched flour pasta for that chickpea pasta or that red lentil pasta, because guess what? It flips the script on the macro split that you would get. So with a regular pasta, it's all carbs. Pretty much all carbs. But you go and you do a bean-based pasta, which one of my favorite things about them is that they're usually just one ingredient, the beans, bean flour, and then water or whatever to make the noodles. Get a lot more protein with that. And it's like you're getting protein with your carbs. And then if you're anything like me, you're going to throw some delicious meat sauce on that, and you're going to get a lot of protein. Yeah. A lot more than you would if you were going to go with conventional noodles.
Yeah, you can really up the protein. Does it also have a higher amount of fiber?
I'm not sure the fiber content on it, but I'm pretty sure that a regular pasta, like wheat or flour pasta, is probably not got much of any fiber in it at all. So
yeah,
that's why you got to get that psyllium husk.
Also used to take that.
What about fiber one? Just go straight for the straight up fiber.
Dude, that Metamucil.
Yeah, see, that's something I've never tried, but I could see that coming in handy. But the thing is, with my philosophy and thought process when it comes to eating, that doesn't fit, because that's not food. Like, where do they derive Metamucil from? Like, what food product do they process to get that?
Whatever psyllium husk is.
Is that psyllium husk?
Yeah. Okay. It's just further processed into a product. Sometimes they flavor it, but I don't know where psyllium husk comes from. But you're right. That's not a whole food source, and it's offering very little in the way of anything else other than just a spike of fiber. Which even that, there are camps saying that you need it. There are camps saying that you do not need it in terms of digestion and for efficiency with digestion. Ultimately, there's so many variables that go into it and determining how effective your gut is at processing whatever kind of foods you're eating. I didn't find it very helpful. In fact, I was bloated AF when I was taking that. Yet I forced it down. Man, I made it happen for a few weeks because I want to make sure that I gave it a fair shot. And it didn't work for me. Some people, though, like my grandma, she has to take it.
Swears by it.
Swears, yes.
Well,
she also doesn't eat vegetables.
And you probably were eating vegetables, so you're probably getting a lot of fiber. But that's the thing. So everybody's different, and especially when it comes to gut health and the microbiome of your intestines and stuff like that. Everybody's so freaking different.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes people who have super messed up microbiomes, they'll get fecal transplants from somebody that has a different more healthy gut microbiome, they're just gonna, they're gonna shove a big piece of poop in your butt, and then your intestines gonna sop up all that crap. That's true, and it's a real thing, and I just think that's kind of crazy. Yeah, it do work. So, Iron Will Collective Multi-Level Marketing, we are going to do freelance fecal transplants. We have a large base of stool samples ready to go. Please send us your email address.
It's really hard to find gloves right now, though, like medical gloves. So.
Yeah, we have to use canvas gardening gloves.
Yeah, we're trying to get it right the first shot through. We're still practicing.
Yeah, so I mean, it's either you take the evil supplement or you get the fecal transplant. Your choice. But I digress. Fiber. For most people, the amount of fiber that is recommended by whoever recommends these things is actually a pretty low amount. It's like something like 30 to 50 grams for most people of fiber today. It might even be less, like 25 to 50. If you're eating a serving of vegetables with every meal, and if you're eating some fruit throughout the day, you're going to get that fiber easy.
Yeah, especially, depending on what kind of vegetables you're eating. If you're opting for some of the more starchy vegetables like a broccoli or a carrot, then a little more fiber.
The cruciferous.
Yeah.
But
although dark leafy greens also have quite a bit of fiber, so
there are ways to increase the amount of fiber that you're getting as well, such as not peeling your vegetables, leaving that peel on there, getting that extra fiber. Yeah, kiwi, eat that thing whole. I just like to bite off the nasty tips. Some people even eat the nasty tips.
Sometimes I do, man. It depends on the tip.
Really too crunchy. Like, get that out of here.
It depends on the tip. But in all cases, I'm eating the tip first.
Yep. Get rid of it. Yep. Choke it down.
Kiwis are great. I haven't had one in a long time.
I haven't either. I had to stop eating kiwis for a while back because they must have been out of season, because every time I would buy them, and I would go to Costco and buy them, get pounds of them. Every time I would get them for a little while, they would suck.
Really?
And they would be hard and not ripen properly. So I was just like, I'm not wasting my money on kiwis for a little bit. Maybe I'll go and get me some Sun Golds here soon.
Ooh, yes. I was just going to say, Sun Gold versus traditional green kiwi. Sun Gold every
Hands
time.
down.
Every time. Best freaking fruit I've had in my whole life, honestly. Except for this one mango that I ate in Hawaii.
Ooh.
And, that's saying a lot, man. Kiwis are the shits, but Sun Golds in particular.
Yes. So everybody listening right now, if you haven't tried Sun Gold, get out there. They have them at Fry's. They have them at your local grocer. They're going to be a little bit more expensive than the green guys, but they're totally worth it. So freaking good.
That's the cool thing about fruits and veggies. Figuring out which ones you like. So then when you eat them, you enjoy it.
And something that I would like to mention that not a lot of people are going to realize is that the variety of fruits and vegetables available to you is enormous. Mm-hmm. So if you're someone like me who shops at a place like Fry's, Kroger, whatever it's called where you live, there is a common supply of fruits and vegetables that they will stock year round. Mm-hmm. But go to some different stores such as Whole Foods that will usually have more variety. Sprouts will usually have more variety. Check out that Natural Grocers, Trader Joe's, places like these. The granola eating grocery stores. Go to these places and check out their produce section, because chances are you're going to see some products in there that you may not have seen before, therefore giving you a new opportunity to try something that might be awesome. For instance, this past weekend, tried a couple new types of melons that were super freaking good.
What kind of melons?
One of them was called a Gaia melon, and the other one was called a lemon drop melon.
Whoa!
They're both like very honeydew like, but they were different, and they were really good, and definitely don't regret trying them.
I guess depending on where you live, this might be different. I know here in Tucson, I haven't had much success, but farmers markets. And by not having much success, I mean, I didn't find a huge variety of fruits. Vegetables, it was a little different, but I don't think that Arizona itself is really conducive to a large variety of fruits. But if you're somewhere that's, you know, a little more tropical, then absolutely. I mean, you probably don't even need me telling you this, but you've probably got some cool stuff right in your backyard. So check out those farmers and see what they're up to. When I was in Hawaii, we saw so many different things that I had no idea even existed, but they're amazing. They taste really good. Like this thing called an apple banana. It's a banana, but it tastes exactly like an apple.
She's got these mad scientists crossbreeding these things.
Freaking cool.
And that's not even like the extent of it. Like since getting into gardening and seeing like the options of things that you can grow, the variety is endless. Mm-hmm. Like for instance, types of tomatoes. There are so many freaking types of tomatoes that you can potentially grow or buy depending on where you're at. That it's mind-boggling, because going from shopping in Fry's and seeing that they've got, you know, your regular little cluster tomatoes or whatever you call them. You got the Roma tomatoes. You got cherry tomatoes.
Yeah.
There's so many more different types, different breeds, and they probably all taste a little bit different.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of them will look kind of weird too. Like you got them heirloom tomatoes, which are a very popular gardener's choice, something that we're actually growing. Excited to see them. They come out kind of ugly.
Yeah, they do.
But
cool colors.
Yeah, there's one thing that I've heard about gardening and growing vegetables is that you cannot beat the taste of a homegrown tomato.
I've heard multiple people say that grocery store tomatoes lack flavor. Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge tomato
Where's
fan.
the umami?
Who's mommy? I don't usually sit around eating tomato on its own, but Alina does sometimes. She'll just cut up slices and salt it.
What about salsa? You like salsa?
I don't even know what that is.
Salsa?
Oh. Yeah, I like salsa, but man, I pick up more lime, more onion, more cilantro, jalapeno. Yeah. The tomato is just a vessel for those things. So yeah, I guess I kind of see what people mean. Huge lack of flavor. So I'd be curious to try a homegrown tomato or a farmer market tomato and see what it's really all about.
What was that Greek salsa that Alina made that one time? What's that called? Like tabonio?
Tabbouleh. Yeah. It's like really popular in the Middle East, but
okay. I thought it was Greek.
It's parsley, garlic, lemon, and I'm probably missing some other stuff.
Was it cucumber? Or was it not cucumber?
Yeah, you could put some cucumber in there.
Okay.
Yeah, super good.
I gotta tell you, I was experimenting with
olive oil.
Delicious. Yes. Tabbouleh, delicious. Get that salsa going. Get that Middle Eastern salsa going. But I gotta tell you, I was experimenting with some flavors a couple weeks ago. I don't know if I already told you this. If I did, please speak up so I don't have to bother you with telling you again. But I've been really into cucumbers lately. Get a lot of cucumbers. Eat them basically either just with a little bit of salt on them or with some lime and salt on them. And they're so freaking good. So easy to prepare. One of my favorite vegetables right now. But I had cucumber and I put some lime on it. And I also had watermelon at the time. I was like, you know what? Cucumbers and watermelons are like pretty closely related, like in the plant world. Like they're both like, you know, meat with seeds inside of them type of thing. Like I don't know if cucumbers are considered gourds, but they grow like in a similar way. Yeah. They grow on the ground.
Yep.
So anyways, I got my cucumber, took a bite of cucumber with lime on it, and then took a bite of watermelon. Oh my god, it was the best thing ever. It was like the cucumber provided you with ultimate refreshment. The lime provided you with sour, and the watermelon provided you with sweet. It was crazy. It was like eating a Sour Patch Kid. Dang. It was so freaking good.
You like made your own candy.
It basically was. And then I was like, you know, what if I finished eating the cucumber, so I was like, what if I put lime on this watermelon? Limed up the watermelon. Oh my god, so good. It was crazy.
Those awesome flavor combos.
Sweet and sour.
Yep. Alina does that with cucumber. She'll do lime and salt. Like really common one.
That's the best. But a lot of people like to do Tajin too, but I don't like Tajin. Get that spicy out of here.
Yeah, that's a little fancy.
Yeah.
You could also salt watermelon. My dad used to eat it that way, and it was pretty good.
I used to know this person that would... It was lemon salt that they used on apples. Oh my god, it was so good. What? is so good.
Lemon salt. That sounds pretty good.
I don't mean to brag or anything, but last night I had ice cream with potato chips in it.
Sweet and salty. That's how they get you. That umami.
You mammy.
I don't even know if that's what umami is.
I know potatoes have umami. I don't know if umami is different. So there's sweet, sour, salty, bitter. Sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and is there another one? Or besides, and there's umami.
Bitter. Yeah.
Umami is like that savory type of thing.
Yeah.
Like umami, I can't really put a finger on. Like if I know that they say tomatoes have umami, but like it just tastes like a tomato to me.
The way I've heard it described is, or explained is, think like after eating, I don't know, really good Parmesan cheese, like that mouth flavor that you get afterwards, like that residual flavor that's just, it's oddly good, like kind of nutty, you know, different nutty. It's good. I don't know, but apparently you could just throw a little MSG on your food and boom, you've got some umami.
And that brings me to another great talking point is that MSG gets a horrible rap in the nutrition world, but it's kind of unfounded.
People say it causes headaches.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, person to person, everyone is an individual, and there is to be expected adverse effects from certain things. Some people are allergic to nuts, like peanut allergy.
Definitely.
Everybody knows a peanut kills somebody.
Yeah.
But other people just eat them just fine. So MSG is not to be inherently feared because just like many other substances, when consumed in moderation, is likely to provide little to no adverse effect. So same with like artificial sweeteners. They're one that like, Serge Tankian, right? Maybe it was all of System of a Down. They're like aspartame kills.
Really?
Yes.
I don't. That's funny.
I can't remember where it was. I was like, that's something that I remember them saying. But recent studies and a good amount of them show that if consumed in moderate portions, which is meaning like, you drink a Diet Coke one day, like one Diet Coke in the day, maybe a couple, like nothing at all is going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you were to consume a very large amount of it, like get into the like, I don't know how much they put in a Diet Coke or anything like that because they don't really tell you how much of what is in there. Though. But if you get into like the multiple grams of it, then start really piling on. Yeah, I could see something being bad. But same thing, like if you eat a shitload of salt, it's probably not going to bode well for you. So moderation.
Dose makes the poison.
Yep.
Well, the cool thing with artificial sweeteners is that they only have like one thing in common with sugar, and that is the fact that they offer sweetness. But apart from that, they're pretty different. I mean, they're a variety of different compounds, and they break down differently in the body. They cause different reactions, but they're also way sweeter, so you don't have to use nearly as much of it. I mean, it's in my protein powder. And at one point in time,
what
sucralose?
Yeah, sucralose, very popular.
Yeah.
Another one that I want to mention is, before I forget, is sugar alcohols like erythritol. For me, I've never had any adverse effects, but I've heard of people who, when eating something with those sugar alcohols, may produce an upset stomach. But that's about the worst I've heard.
And that's like, let's say you're making some, I don't know, sugar-free keto cookies, and you go ham with the monk fruit sweetener, which is erythritol, and you drink artificially sweetened sodas all day long.
Zevia with the stevia.
Yeah, like
But these like monk fruit sweetener or stevia that are like derived from these other plants
naturally,
but highly processed.
Yeah, definitely.
They are, I feel like, by health companies and stuff like that, like Zevia or someone who's selling that type of soda or something, they're going to really push the fact that these things came from like an actual plant or something, as opposed to like aspartame or something that's like more of a like laboratory concoction type
Yeah.
thing. Like I really don't know what they derive aspartame from, but they like to really play that card.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I'd say that's a really common marketing strategy, and you see it with things like shampoo even. I mean, so shampoo shopping, I used to be such a stickler with anything artificial because I kind of fell into this little trap for a while where I just wanted everything natural. I stopped using plastic. I started using glass only.
Natty for life.
Yeah, like natty as could be.
Natty ice.
Yeah. So I started reading the ingredients labels on all my shampoos and conditioners and body wash and all that stuff, and just wanted to make sure, like, okay, I'm not putting the same shit that they're gonna use to clean an engine on my body and on my hair and all that. So I got really in detail with it. I started finding a lot of companies that would list their products as 100% natural, but as soon as you read the ingredients, you're like, what the hell are these things? I've never heard of any of this.
It's just like your favorite fitness influencer.
Yeah. Well, they get away with it because they'll put in parentheses right next to it, derived from aloe or something. I don't know. I mean, at that point, I just put it to it's chemistry and it's beyond me. So I eventually kind of gave up and just started using whatever smelled nice and worked for my goals here. Keep the locks nice and fluffy. But
it can be tough to go that route because they're really going to milk the pocket too.
Yeah, absolutely. And food companies do it all the time. So it's not like you're saving much by choosing Zevia over Coca-Cola. But
you're just getting different ingredients.
Yeah.
But that's something that is pretty important to me, honestly, is the ingredients label. Like that is probably my biggest factor in choosing processed foods is a peek at that ingredients label, see what is in it. Mm-hmm. The shorter the list, the more likely I am to get it. The more things on that list that I actually can recognize as being, an actual food that you've put together to make this food.
Yeah.
Even more likely. So I don't know what the ingredients label on a Diet Coke looks like, or Coke Zero or whatever. It would be a comparable one to Zevia, but I like them Zevias. Zevia, the ingredients in that, carbonated water, stevia extract or whatever, and citric acid. So it's like,
yeah,
all
some
right.
flavoring, natural flavoring.
Yeah, and same with like sparkling water or whatever. That's all they're going to do is like natural flavoring, citric acid. So something that, like, the worst thing for you for something like that, or at least what I know of now as being the worst thing for you, is that it's going to be possibly a little bit rough on the teeth. Yeah. But other than that, like, if you are drinking them all day long, it might, wear down that enamel.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really know how much other adverse effects there could be behind that. But
at least they're not adding color to it.
Yeah, exactly. And man, I just really appreciate things like that. Like, it's kind of weird when you get like a Zevia root beer and you pour it out into a cup and it's clear.
Yeah.
Tastes awesome though. And it's like a really, really good substitute for a higher calorie option. Or I'm sure there are other 0 calorie sodas out there that probably are decent tasting as well, but I just haven't found them yet.
No, it's going to come down to preference. But with that, always want to emphasize, try to go for that water more often than you go for any of the carbonated beverages.
No. I drink milk. I drink carbonated water.
Okay. Hey, that's
just
cool.
kidding. Yeah, I totally agree with that. That your water intake should come first. I personally budget myself 1 sparkling water per day, maybe a Zevia, because I usually honestly don't feel like one every day. Like
they're so sweet.
They are. Like, sometimes they're awesome.
They're sugar-free.
Yeah, they're an awesome dessert substitution for me sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like, one of my favorite things to have for dessert is fruit salad. That is like amazing. And then of course Jesselyn loves to bake, so oftentimes we'll have some sort of tasty cookie, but she will use a 0 calorie sweetener whenever possible to minimize the amount of unnecessary sugar and calories that could be had from that. So if I don't have anything like that available, might do it up with a Zevia, and it'll be a great way to quench that sweet tooth. But nary do I drink more than 1 a day, and oftentimes don't even have one in a day. So
yeah, recently I think probably due to overdoing the Zevias for quite some time. I mean, I would do one a day for months on end. And
men's one a day multivitamin.
Yeah, just consistency over everything. Never skip a day. But some days before that, I would have, multiple, just whenever I felt like having one. I didn't set a limit.
But it can be helpful, like if it's that, or if it's you drinking an orange juice or something like that.
Yeah.
Orange juice used to be something that I held highly as a healthy item, but goddamn, it's not.
Nope.
It's really not.
It's really just sugar water with a lot of vitamin C, which I want to mention. I mentioned this many podcasts ago. Vitamin C hasn't been shown to be as effective for your immune system as you probably think. So don't buy that marketing hype again. They're just selling you a delicious, tasty drink with overinflated benefits.
And surprisingly high calories.
Oh yeah.
And you lose the best part of the fruit, which is the fiber, when you juice it. Yeah. So any fruit juices, apple juice, grape juice, any of these, first of all, check out that ingredients label and see how much other stuff is in it. If you are someone who's more particular and you want to go for one of them cold pressed, like straight up fruit juices, that might be a little bit better, but still, it's sugar water. It's hardly beneficial for you, other than possibly giving you, a couple vitamins and minerals through the water, but it's all in all probably not going to be in your best interest.
Yeah. I used to juice. That was pretty cool.
You gave me your juicer.
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed juicing. I don't know if you got around to.
I never did once. I never got to try it.
It's fun. It's fun because you take this raw product, which is your vegetable or your fruit and vegetable, and you toss them in. Out comes this juice. I mean, at no point do you add any water. So all the fluid that you're getting has been extracted from whatever you put in, and certain things juice better than others, but with that, you also get all the flavor. You get what I would imagine is a good amount of nutrients from that, whatever you put in there, and at peak freshness at that. So what I would do when I was juicing is just really emphasize the vegetable component, and you'd be surprised how easy it is to make something that tastes so damn good without having to add any artificial anything, no additional sugars at all. It's just all straight from mostly vegetables. For example, like celery,
carrots.
Throw some carrots, absolutely. Throw some kale in there. Let's see, I'd throw a lemon, some ginger, cayenne was a good one.
Yeah, that capsaicin.
Yeah. Oh man, take it easy though.
That caramba.
I threw in some jalapenos once, and that was brutal. I used to call it the energy drink because it would kick your ass so hard, just wake you up. So
honestly, if you were to start your multi-level marketing business predicated off of homemade juices, you could probably make a lot of money, because in Sprouts, for instance, I know they have like a cold pressed orange juice that they sell for it's like probably 12 ounces. It's like $6. Like, what the heck?
Wow. But people buy it.
Oh yeah,
people buy it. I don't know. I mean, that might be another marketing thing, just saying like the fact that it's cold pressed makes it better.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any stock to that.
Me neither.
Can neither prove nor deny, but the thing is, you're in most cases gonna give the boring advice again. You're gonna be better off just eating the fruit itself.
Yeah. All right. If you like orange juice, you're gonna like an orange. Simple as that. Yeah, it might
juicy orange.
It might be a pain to peel.
Yeah.
But stop being lazy. Just eat it.
It can be fun.
Eat the peel then if you don't want to peel it. That's gonna be hecka fiber.
Right? Who knows what that'll do to you? Could be fun though.
Yeah, it probably will be. Well, honestly, it's not out of the question to eat the orange peel or a lemon peel, because like zesting. You ever heard of zesting?
Yeah.
That's just peel. So you eat that all the time. Like if you have like a I don't know exactly, like a muffin or something. Maybe you put zest in. I don't know, certain foods.
Yeah,
you're eating the peel
for sure.
and it's not that big of a deal.
I was at the zoo and I saw a gorilla eat a whole banana. The whole banana.
Well, guess what? No food waste there. If I was a gorilla, I'd eat the whole banana too. That makes me think when back in the day, me and some friends, we used to like to make videos. Good old Elmo, actually. He was the one who edited them. So, of course, he would end up being the videographer he is today. But in one of the videos that we made, Elmo did a scene that he just like, he was walking down a hall and he just took a bite of a banana without peeling it. And it was super funny.
Savage.
And I'll never forget that. Flash memory. It's like, where were you at 9/11? I'm like, I don't remember, but I remember where I was when Elmo bit the banana.
Right. I got dared once to eat a whole onion. Like, just like eat it like an apple.
With the skin on it?
Yeah, just take a bite.
They didn't let you peel it?
No.
That skin's
how to make
papery.
a shitty thing shittier.
That skin is papery.
And it's spicy, too. When
yeah,
you really
absolutely.
get into it, it's really spicy.
Man, it's, you don't even have to eat an onion to know it's spicy. You start crying when you cut it. That sounds horrible, though.
But, dude, I mean, Elmo might have been onto something, eating that whole banana.
I mean, he didn't eat the whole banana. He just took a bite, but it would have been very impressive had he ate the whole banana. But guess what? You can use that banana peel for other things, such as a fully organic fleshlight.
5 seconds in the microwave, you're good to go.
Exactly.
It's just like a person.
Yep.
Whoa.
Except sweeter.
Yeah, you know, and no hard feelings afterwards.
Exactly. No tears. Maybe from you, because you just, violated a fruit. But other than that, you know what? You're going to violate it anyway. I'm pretty sure eating it is pretty much, very against what that banana wanted for its life to be eaten. But maybe it did. I don't know.
Interestingly enough, you cannot juice a banana. They're not very effective.
They really aren't very juicy. They're pretty dry, pretty starchy.
Yeah.
But they're delicious, man. I throw a banana in my smoothie every time I have one.
Well, that's the thing. They're so delicious that I did try to juice a banana. I mean, I was just after that essence of life. Wanted it to fill my cup with joy. So as I guzzled it down, I got to enjoy that sweet banana flavor. Didn't work.
So it didn't produce any, like even a couple drops?
No.
Probably just gummed up the works?
Yeah, it was not good. It turned very pulpy. Because the way that the juicer works is you'll throw your stuff in, and it's got this centrifuge.
It's like a food processor, kind of?
Yeah, it's spinning really, really fast. And so it's separating pulp from juices. It redirects the juices through to a spout that empties out into whatever cup you have going on, and it leaves all the pulp in like this compartment. It's essentially junk. Really good for compost though, but no, banana messed it all up, man. Messed it all up. It's like trying to juice a block of cheese or something. It's just not gonna happen.
Man, that probably wouldn't be very good juice, honestly. I don't know if I'd want cheese juice. Yeah, it would be just milk. Ugh. Honestly, it'd just be rotten milk, which is awesome. Love rotten milk. But all in all, the moral of the story in the most roundabout way, eat your fruits and vegetables.
Yep.
Avoid those fruit drinks. Drink your water. And
eat your protein.
Eat your protein no matter where it comes from, whether it be plant-based or animal-based. Yeah. Just make sure you're getting it in. And supplements are supplements. I'm sure we could talk for many more hours, which we likely will do, but we're going to need to spread it out over the coming weeks because we have a show to produce. This is show business. This is Hollywood. This is Tucson.
Just a little at a time.
Just a little bit at a time. That's all you get. But do you have anything you'd like to add before we sign off for the day?
No, I think that you tied it up really nicely there.
I think you tied it up, but thanks for the compliment there. Well, we hope you've enjoyed the episode. Again, sorry that this didn't make it onto the streaming services, but if you're a true fan, you're going to listen to it here on YouTube. Let's hear it for Guam.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Puerto Penasco,
Woo.
our 2 highest rated geographical areas for listening. And have a great night.
Have a great night. Good night.